to see you again.
Is it for the largest? Is it for the most? What is it?
Longest and then special veteran prizes.
So you may want to just brief him real quick.
Ready to roll? Good. Yeah, great.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to one of the best back settings you'll ever see. I want to thank everyone for being here, especially members of the press. Really a great partnership in the efforts that we're going to discuss this morning. We have a number of dignitaries and a number of speakers, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce our chairman of the Super Bowl Host Committee and also an FWC commissioner, Mr. Rodney Barreto. Rodney?
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. And indeed, we did. What a beautiful day and an incredible backdrop with the Everglades behind us. You know, this is the 11th Super Bowl for Miami, but it's the first Super Bowl which we really have put emphasis on the environment. And I got to tell you, I'd be remiss to say that if it wasn't for the Ocean Conservancy who came to me and said, hey, we need to do something special. You got to have a huge platform here. So immediately I picked up the phone and called Eric Eichenberg and got Eric involved. And Eric says, hey, we can do something between the ocean and the Everglades. And this is how this all began. So I want to thank Eric and his team for his efforts. I certainly want to call out Drew from the from the district to let him know we appreciate all his efforts. I'd like to recognize Bill Toppert, who's on the chair of the Super Bowl committee and is also the president of the Convention Bureau. Ray Martinez, who's running the Super Bowl committee day to day for me. Where's Jamie Gonzalez from Bass Pro? Jamie, thank you for everything. Thank you for all your efforts in Bass Pro with Johnny Morse, has been a tremendous partner who's actually put up the money for the prizes for this event. So also recognize Pedro Ramos. Where's Pedro? So Pedro, thank you for all your support, opening up new territory. We're going to hear a little bit more about that. Also want to take this time to thank Pedro, because if it wasn't for Pedro, who really has just worked hand in hand with the agency to really put an emphasis on going after these snakes, and it's something that has been needed for a long time. But I got to tell you, the person who I give the most credit for at this point is the person I'm about ready to introduce. When I sat with him, I said, you know, Governor, it's really amazing the amount of effort you have put into the Everglades and to the resources of Florida. But I think you need to take a look at the python and kind of pay attention that, you know, once the Everglades restoration is done, we want to make sure that there's something here to protect, you know, the indigenous wildlife, that we have something after we kind of fix the Everglades, that the indigenous wildlife is going to grow and prosper from all this, you know, work that's being done in the Everglades. And the governor has just been unwavering his support to the Fish and Wildlife Agency, to the district, and to making everything happen. Without no further ado, Governor Ron DeSantis.
Are you going to do that now or later?
I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
And this is a first of a kind Python football for the Python Challenge we're getting ready to have.
All right.
We call it the Python Bowl.
Yeah. So this will go in the office. So I already have a football for the Super Bowl, the general one they're going to use. So we'll have this right next to it. It'll be great to have a Python football. So I want to thank Rodney, and I want to thank everybody who's here. We got a lot of great dignitaries, including Mayor Jimenez. Obviously, you guys saw Eric Sutton, who's our executive director at FWC. We got people from South Florida Water Management District, Super Bowl Host Committee. It's great. So we have two announcements regarding. The first, as you might have figured out, is we're going to be having, we're basically resurrecting the Python Challenge, but we're doing it in conjunction with the Super Bowl Host Committee, and we're calling it the 2020 Python Bowl. So this is going to be a 10-day challenge from January 10th to January 19th, where participants will receive prizes for removing the most and largest invasive pythons in the world. So who gets the longest, who gets the heaviest, who gets the most? We want to put people in there and get that competitive spirit going. Now, this had been done every 3 years, some type of python event. But I've directed Fish and Wildlife in South Florida Water Management District to do it annually. There's a lot of interest in this, not just in Florida, but people in other states and even in other countries want to be able to come and help with python removal. These pythons, can grow up to 20 feet in length, 200 pounds, and the problem is they're not native to this area, and they decimate the natural food chains, and they really wreak havoc on a lot of the indigenous species. And so there's no natural predators for the pythons, and so they multiply, and if we don't take action to remove them, that continues, and the rest of the Everglades is harmed. So I think it's an important event, and I think it's going to be great to do that in conjunction with the Super Bowl. We're very happy to be having another Super Bowl in South Florida. I think it's going to be a really good event. I think the season's shaping up to have some pretty good teams, and so I'm looking forward to be the first Super Bowl I've ever attended personally. So we're looking forward to doing that, and I know that Miami always does these big events very well. So this Python Bowl will add to what is going to be a lot of events leading up to and including the Super Bowl. The other announcement is when we first started doing the Python initiative, there was the issue of the lands that we controlled at the state, but then there was also federal land. So I've been working with the Trump administration, and then today we can announce that the U.S. Department of Interior has authorized open access to the secondary trails in the Big Cypress National Preserve for the removal of python. So that's 150 additional miles of trails will now be accessible for python removal. So this builds on the efforts that we've already done when we announced our initiative in August, and it also will dovetail with my budget request. We doubled the resources, and I think we'll get this from the legislature for python removal, and we also now have FWC in South Florida increasing collaboration on removal efforts. Both of those entities, FWC and South Florida, are working together to ensure that their python removal training programs are interchangeable, that they share and jointly pursue research on new technology to help detect and remove pythons from the wild. They engage the public through a targeted education and outreach campaign that focuses on the importance of removing pythons from the Everglades, and working together to create additional incentives for veterans to come and remove pythons. So I think that this is going to be a great event. I'm happy to be announcing the Python Bowl. We'll have I guess there's going to be a big event in January where people can come and get trained up, and then obviously off to the races. So we hope people get some big pythons. And with that, I will call up Mayor Jimenez to say a few things.
Thank you, Governor, and appreciate that kind introduction. And I'm also very grateful to you, Governor, for the environmental record that you've established in your administration. And I say that, I represent about 2.8 million people here in Miami-Dade County, about 1 million alligators, and but I also represent a whole bunch of invasive pythons. It's like the governor said, it's a very dangerous species, an invasive species, shouldn't be here. And so I'm very happy that the Super Bowl committee has taken on this challenge, and all the other participants that are here to get rid of as many pythons as we can. I don't think the Miami Dolphins are going to be in this year's Super Bowl, but hopefully the Miami Dolphins Python team wins the Python Bowl. And we get as many pythons out of Miami-Dade County as possible. Miami-Dade County is, we're proud to be we're going to be hosting the 11th Super Bowl. It's a record of any city in the United States. We do know how to throw a good party, Governor, and when you come down for the event, I'm sure you're going to have a good time. Who knows, maybe you and I can team up together and catch some pythons ourselves, okay? So thank you very much for all of this. Thank you for all the partners, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the South Florida Water Management District, again, the Super Bowl Committee. Thank you for this, and then not only is it going to be something that is good for the community, but also it could be, somewhat fun. So we expect a lot of people to come out here and help us to rid ourselves of this invasive species. On a more serious level, this species is actually making its way east, and we've seen some pythons actually get into maybe some inhabited areas, which is something that we really do not want because it's a very, very dangerous snake. So again, thank you everybody here, and hopefully we have a good time when the Python Bowl comes around. I'd like to say a couple of words in Spanish. Hoy empezamos el Python Bowl, un evento divertido que forma parte del camino hacia el Super Bowl 54. Esta competencia es parte de la iniciativa Ocean to Everglades, que ayuda a preservar el paraíso tropical que tenemos aquí en el condado de Miami-Dade. Gracias al gobernador Ron DeSantis por darle importancia al medio ambiente y gracias también a todos nuestros compañeros y el comité de Super Bowl. Sabemos que el Super Bowl 54 va a ser un éxito por su trabajo y me da mucho orgullo que Miami-Dade es el único lugar donde hemos tenido el juego 11 veces. Que Dios los bendiga, que Dios bendiga a Miami-Dade County. May God bless you all. May God continue to bless Miami-Dade County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Governor. Certainly, I want to recognize a couple other board members from the district. Scott Wagner. Thank you for coming, Scott. Charlie Fernandez. Charlie, thank you, my good friend, Charlie. Gives me great pleasure to introduce the next person because when I was the chairman of the commission back in 2000, Governor Chris came to me and said, what can I do to help the agency become even much better and much more focused? I said, we really need to put someone on the commission who has a passion and a love for the Everglades because it's such an important part of the environment. And so Governor Chris said, well, who do you have in mind? I said, well, Alligator Ron Bergeron. He goes, who's Alligator Ron Bergeron? And I said, well, you're going to learn a lot about Alligator Ron Bergeron. Anyways, make no mistake about it. Ron Bergeron, who was on the commission with me, and when he came on the commission, I made him the chairman chairman of the Everglades Czar. He did a phenomenal job of just keeping that agenda going. I'm just so happy and want to congratulate you, Governor, for seeing the insight and foresight to put him on the district where he is needed and can be really helpful. With that, he needs no further ado. He's the only dude with a cowboy hat. Ron Bergeron, come on here.
Rodney, you'll always be my commander. It's a great honor to be here today in the beautiful Everglades, one of the natural wonders of the whole world. Aren't we lucky? You know, I feel at home here. Sometime, I'm not for sure, but sometime I think I was born in a gator cave right back here. So I feel very much at home. But first of all, I want to thank the governor for his leadership on Everglades restoration and for kicking off this event, inviting people from around the world. In the past, we've had as many as 40 contestants coming from 40 different states. Extremely important. So I want to thank the governor for increasing this Python challenge on the invasive snake to save the beautiful Everglades. Just a few months ago, the governor asked our state agencies to put together a plan and work with our federal partners, which I'm very honored to say that we've worked very closely with Pedro Ramos in regards to access into remote areas, into Everglades National Park, and as you heard just earlier, opening up the secondary trails into Big Cypress Preserve, where we can get into areas that are very, very remote in order to continue putting the pressure on this invasive snake that is destroying all of our natural wildlife. The governor is making good on his promise to do more for the Everglades with record-setting funding to save this environment, with an additional $1 million for the state to tackle the python problem, to increase the hunters, the expert hunters in the FWC and South Florida Water Management. To save the Everglades, we have to remove the invasive python from this environment. This python is the hunter. This python is destroying the natural food chain in the beautiful Everglades, and without a natural food chain, you cannot have a natural environment. So today we're kicking off an effort to remove pythons from the Everglades by inviting the public. It's all about we. And the public, what's so important is to understand whether you're a fisherman, a hunter, a biker, a hiker, a bird watcher, whatever. If you see a python, you have the expertise to take it out. It's all about we. And if you don't have the expertise, call the FWC or South Florida Water Management, give us a GPS coordinates, and we'll come in and take care of it. South Florida Water Management District is working together and close with the Fish and Wildlife Commission and Everglades National Park, working as a team, boots on the ground. This event will address very serious problems, one that I know is very important to Governor DeSantis. The overabundance of pythons presence is a big problem for the Everglades, one that requires strong partnership, strong will, and as we fight for the future of South Florida environment. Behind us is the beautiful Everglades, 70 endangered species, extremely important. You have panthers, bears, all the icon animals, hundreds and hundreds of species of birds, and the Florida panther. This invasive python hunt, in fact, recent studies have shown that 90% of our mammals have disappeared out of the Everglades. And without a healthy food chain, you cannot have a healthy environment. Governor DeSantis, thank you for recognizing the damage being done by this apex predator and help take the fight, these pythons, to protect all of our environment. Your leadership leads to the biggest python challenge ever. So today, let's celebrate the start of the Python Bowl, and we are joining forces to combine the best tools and resources for innovative attacks on serious threats to our native wildlife. I want to thank the governor. I want to thank all our sponsors. I want to thank the NFL Super Bowl, and I want to thank the staff of FWC and the National Park Service, and also want to thank the media. You are so important, so the public really recognizes the challenge that's on our hands and recognizes the governor's leadership. I'd like to say one thing. When we save the Everglades and the environment, we're really saving ourselves, you know, and so it's so important for the public to recognize that. So long live the Everglades, and to make this challenge even bigger and better, from the Bergeron Everglades Foundation, I'd like to donate $10,000 to the challenge to bring more people in to help us. Thank you, and thank you, Governor, for your leadership and your vision.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Commissioner Bergeron. I just want to quickly thank, again, our sponsor, Bass Pro, and I thank all the team, and Governor, and thank you for your leadership. I just want you to know on behalf of staff, they really appreciate all the support that you've lended to this, because it's an important environmental issue. Just a couple of quick points. Register at FloridaPythonChallenge.org today, and the contest goes from January 10th to January 19th. And on January 25th on Super Bowl Live, we're going to have a similar event, but we're going to be announcing winners, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over here and do the demonstration. And so,
Giving a couple ATVs away?
so yes, I want to say with the Bass Pro sponsorship, just to be clear, they've donated a $20,000 cash to prizes, as well as 2 ATVs that will be distributed out, and we'll have some other fun prizes. So that's pretty awesome, huh? Thank you, Bass Pro. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, members of the press. We're going to go over here and have a demonstration, and thank you very much.
Right.
All right. So my name is Robert Edmond. I'm the Python Incentives and Education Specialist with FWC. I'm going to do a quick Python capture demonstration for all of you. This is the way we train members of the public to safely handle and capture Burmese pythons. I always like to use a snake hook. It's the easiest way. You can use the snake hook to kind of keep some distance between you and the snake and also help pull it out of any vegetation that it might be in. And then I like to use the rubberized end to actually pin its head to the ground, and then I'd be able to get hands on it. So I'm going to dump it out of the bag here. This is a wild-caught python that one of our FWC contractors caught. And when I dump it out, it's either going to go into one of two behavior modes. It's going to be in a fight or flight, just like any other wild animal. So if it's in fight mode, it's going to be kind of bundled up on itself, staring at me, hissing, maybe striking out. I don't want to catch it when it's in fight mode because it's going to just try to strike out and bite me. So I prefer for it to go into flight mode. That's where it thinks it has an escape route and it stretches out a little bit more, and it's just easier to catch. So when it stretches out, I'm going to aim right for the base of the head with my snake hook and try to pin it to the ground and then grab it with my free hand. So I'm going to dump it out here and we're going to kind of see what its behavior is. So it's already kind of going in that flight mode. I'm going to let it stretch out a little bit, and then I'm going to come up to the side and get on one knee and pin its head to the ground with the rubberized end of the snake hook. So now I have complete control of the python. I'm going to take my free hand and just grab it up by the head. You want to get it as close to the jaw bones as you can, because if I grabbed it farther down here, they're very flexible and it could just reach around and bite me. With one of these larger pythons, it's always best to have another person with you to help manage the body. This one's not too big. This one's probably about 10 or 11 feet. And you can always use your legs to help manage the body of the python, so I can put my leg on top of it. It's going to want to wrap around me. It's a constrictor. That's what they do. It's all muscle. It's very strong. So I'd rather have it wrap around my knee and my leg rather than my arms. It's just easier to deal with that way. So again, you want to grab it at the base of the head. You don't need a really strong grip. I can hold it with just 2 fingers. It's going to try to pull back. It's going to try to escape. It's going to wrap around my body.
Okay, coming in from the bench is Ron Bergeron.
You want to get hands on it? You want to get some hands on it? All right. So we're going to bag it up here. I'm just going to put my hand all the way through the bag here and just transfer hands. And then it's just easiest to fold the bag over the python. And again, this is the part where it's easiest with 2 people, so thank you for helping out. I appreciate that. Once I get a good portion of the python in the bag, I cinch the bag up on it, and then we just roll it on in. Where's the governor? All right. Just close it up, and we'll get some electrical tape on it. And that's all there is to it. Thank you, sir.